righty, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. We're ZMB Live, Unfiltered. I am one of your hosts, Zach M. Rutledge, my co-host with the mo-host, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, coming to us live. He's on assignment from an undisclosed location. Looking very tropical out there. If you're watching us live on YouTube, he's looking. You know, he looks like he's on an island or something somewhere. He's obviously getting around by bike these days and boogie board and all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure exactly what's all happening here, but welcome in, Brian. So glad you can make it. I understand that you're a little delayed. Obviously, it must be in a tropical location, way across the pond somewhere, with the lack of reception that we have coming in. Right. But we'll do our best with the delay.
You'd like to think that it's just me chilling with the 95-year-olds in Fort Myers. It's the land of bronzed skin, chain smoking, and retirees. So this is why I'm here in the garage, and this is the only place I have signal. So I wanted to be out. I wanted to show how successful I was, Zach, by being out on the lanai, all screened in. We have all this happening. Unfortunately, not the case. Not the case. I'm stuck in the garage.
Yeah, you're looking like the end of the Wolf of Wall Street rather than the beginning of the
Wolf
of Wall Street
so
movie there.
This is the rise back up when I got clean and I'm ready to go. But Zach, you got to hit rock bottom before you can rise back up like a phoenix, man. This is what we're doing. That's what we got.
That's what I hear. ZMB Live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time over on the YouTube. You can watch us live, and then the show will be posted after the fact for re-airs and first-time viewings. But if you also are catching us via Spotify podcast or Apple Podcast, come on over to the YouTube channel. Give us a tickle, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon and tune in for a live recording of the Z&B Live Unfiltered Lego Talk Show, hosted by yours truly and Mr. Bricks O'Brien. And we can all just not stop laughing at what. See, this is if you're just listening to us, this is what you're missing. You're missing. All of us in the audience and everywhere are just cackling at this point.
There's a reason to watch live. There's a reason to be here live. There's a reason to enjoy the show across wherever you watch it. And this proves my level of commitment. This proves the level of I could have said, you know what, Zach, I'm busy enjoying time with my family, but I would be bored out of my mind. I got nothing to do here. Like, all you do here is you sit by the pool, you drink vacation juice, you have some food, you soak out in the sun. It's miserable. It's not my vibe. So I'd rather...
Only Bricks O'Brien would say sunshine, vacation juice, and relaxation is miserable. Let's just back that up for a second.
Listen, it's just... I like being involved in the thing. I like being creative and busy and just, moping around. I'm like, forget about it. So this is a highlight of my day, man. I'm glad to be here. I like to work. I like what I do. Hey, listen, man. Hey, man.
I need a minute. Let's get into some breaking news that Mr. Bricks. This is the benefit to having Mr. Bricks O'Brien on location. He's out in the thick of it. He's in the mix. Apparently, even though he's only in a garage, he's in the mix, and he's got some breaking news for us coming out of the Lego world that we'll insert into our intro here. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, breaking news coming in from the Lego world. Take it away.
We had some word rise up from the Lego YouTube channel. We had literally a 6-second clip rise up of somebody, don't know who this is, but saying that there was something to look forward to on March 9th, 2023, which is one day before March 10th, which is Mario Day, MAR10 Mario, get it? Celebrated by Nintendo every year as a means to market to people ahead of, holiday season, something to look forward to, whatever. I was anticipating nothing. Nintendo normally does nothing. They're just like, hey, buy our products, and it's whatever. But Lego has said that they have something to announce. In previous years, it has been also nothing, literally nothing, and nothing to look forward to. So when I saw the 6-second announcement, they said something crazy is coming. And whenever Lego says something crazy is coming, that is your immediate go-to sign to temper all your expectations. Nothing's going to happen, whatever. The rumor on the street is that this is, Zach, allegedly, this is the castle. That's what the kids are saying. They're saying it's a castle. And so by them saying it's Princess Peach's castle, that's my indication to think this is a big steaming pile of caca that I should not look forward to. It's a Ultimate Collector Series Bowser's Golden Porcelain Throne to accompany the Bowser that came out a couple years ago. So that's what I'm expecting out of this announcement.
Are you just lowering your expectations so you're not disappointed? Yes. Okay.
Yes, because we've had Bowser, I believe, unveiled. We've had, last year it was just Dry Bowser's Castle, which is fine, but it's going to be more play system stuff is what I'm expecting. There's been no indication that there's going to be minifigure anything. Maybe if it's going to be, off the heels of Animal Crossing being minifigure based, I'll talk about that in a little while. But there's not much that's going to get people excited really for real, unless it is something like a Mario Kart or a castle like that. And it has been 4 years since I've stood on my soapbox initially and said, y'all got to do a castle. Y'all got to do a castle. And they've been able to really hone into what fans want. So maybe the Piranha Plant as a adults only set was like the appetizer to what could come out this year. But we don't really know. I'm not getting excited about it at all.
Interesting. I've been screaming for. I could, Peach's Castle. I could take it or leave it. If it comes out, fantastic. Would love to see it. The Easter eggs and whatnot associated with it would be spectacular if they do it right. I've been one of the ones screaming for a Mario Kart line where they could still utilize the current play system that they have.
Yeah.
I think that's printing money at that point, where if you can, create brand new of the characters with the electronics in them, on the different characters and stuff like that. You instead of the starter level packs, you do starter track packs and things like that. And, I have it on good authority from my Lego store buddies that they are retiring the existing starter packs as they are. Now that could mean that they bring it to a $50 price point that has Mario Kart type stuff in it. That seems like a good move that they could make there. With the Bowser, I believe we talked about this before, but the Bowser car that came out in January has like an icon on Mario's chest when you put him in there for a steering wheel and general karting sounds. Even though it's for the Bowser car, like honking of a horn, revving of an engine, whatever. So like, it's very much there. But even if they come out with Mario Kart with the existing stuff, for the people that have already bought into the play system, sure, it's fantastic. But that's not going to convince more people to go out and buy $50, $100, $150 worth of play figures to dive into a Mario Kart system. The people that are diehard about the minifigures are still going to be here, and they're not going to cave into buying this technology, plastic garbage. They still want what they want. So it's a way to refresh the current line, is my point. It's
and I agree, but I don't know if that'll do enough to move the needle.
Yeah. Well, for whatever their reasoning is, which we've heard a lot of different reasoning as to why they won't do minifig, style stuff, but that's, if it needs a shot in the arm to get people excited about it again. Dry Bones Castle, I don't think is going to do that kind of thing, and I don't know what we're going to see.
Not at all.
They did this last year. They did a Mario Day kind of announcement, and you and I watched it together, and it was a want moment. Like it, we saw the Donkey Kong and the fact that Mario rode around in Donkey Kong, which he never does in any game or anything, which was bizarre. It was a bizarre thing that they created, and then the castle, and it was a major letdown. And I'm with you. I'm not going to sit there and get excited about it. I got excited about last because I thought we were going to get some cool stuff. Mario Day, release announcement. I thought we were going to get some cool stuff, but this,
No, that's because you were still younger and more spry to the idea of Lego. Oh, we're going to get everybody. You're used to Apple. You're used to people that know what they're doing. So you need to continue to dial that back even more, have no expectations, and actually lower those expectations even more. And then you'll be appropriately set for whatever Lego, whenever Lego rings the bell and says, everybody come here, you should just sit right in your seat, grab another, Diet Coke. Don't even bother getting up out of your chair. Not even worth it.
Well, Lego's continuing to ring the bell to drive people to them by launching a new ideas building contest as well. Some more breaking news for you called "If We Could Turn Back Time," in which you, the viewer here, can help design a future set. The premise is to build something based on an 80s TV show or film, and entries, an 80s TV show or film. And then those entries will go into a fan vote to choose a new Lego Ideas set. This is fascinating. Now, they do specifically say that any submission that already is an IP that they have, they give out examples such as Indiana Jones, Seinfeld, Tron, will not be accepted. So it needs to be something that they haven't already done. And you brought up a good point during our pre-production meeting that the Lego Dimensions series kind of throws a wrench into some of this, because there's so many little one-offs with that are they counting those as an IP? And
it's not only like one-offs, but really good one-offs. Like there was an A-Team van that included Mr. T. There was an ET set that included the basket with the bicycle. Shout out to the bicycle. There was actually a Knight Rider car already done, like the kit car with, the minifigure to go. Like they already had so many solid ideas, because back in 2015, 16, 17, the idea of getting like a one-off of a theme, especially of like that stature, was not heard of. They just wouldn't do it. Like how could Lego ever justify doing Wizard of Oz? Okay, that was before, right as they were tying it in with Lego Batman movie and really trying to unlock gateways there, and now we might get Wicked and whatever. So if they are counting those, a lot of your suggestions could have immediately gone. And what immediately came to my mind, naively, was Power Rangers. That's not 80s, that's 90s. So when you really think about it after that, if we're sticking with TV show or movie, really stinks it's not a video game type thing, by the way. That'd be even cooler. But I personally don't know. I think it's getting to slim pickings, especially. I don't know. So I'm going to leave that to you and the audience to kind of decide what could be appropriate.
I think it is slim pickings, and I wonder if it's because it's so slim pickings, if that's why they're farming it out and saying.
Actually, here's an idea. What if Lego already went to, like, Lego is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They don't need ideas. They don't need ideas. They just want to see what is going to resonate with people the most. So What if Lego already went to these companies and said, hey, we want to make a model kit out of your IP. And they're like, no, we're not interested. What if this is a way for Lego to show market research? Like, hey, we know, we literally got this data for you. This is what people want. So let's do it.
They voted on this. They, whatever. Yeah. And I think that's what it is. I think it's a small section of what people can choose from. And, obviously, the Knight Rider is the first thing that came to my brain, but there's so many other, I just feel like the Dimensions just throws that wrench in there. And I just feel like there's so many other possibilities of things that they could expand upon from the ideas, the Dimensions line. They could expand upon stuff from the Dimensions line, but they're limiting themselves. They're limiting themselves by saying you can't do something that's already something that they've touched on.
Right, and it's also 80s stuff. But what's popular? What would actually sell? There's plenty of stuff from the 80s that came out, movies and TV shows that people are like, whatever. But what's going to really resonate with people? They already did that with like the heavy hitters, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and whatever. Is anybody in the live audience saying like a suggestion, a valid suggestion?
We got a never-ending story. I don't know what you make out of never-ending story because it's such a massive world as opposed to a specific scene kind of thing that you can choose from. So it's never-ending story is hard for me to do unless you make like this wild Falcor or something kind of set. I don't know, but I just don't know if there's enough. I start thinking about Saturday morning cartoons. Like what are the Saturday morning cartoons that we could do that isn't already attached to a brand? Like He-Man is already who owns that?
That's Mega.
Yeah, Megabox has that. So that's the other side to that, right? Like there's some property out there that could translate into cool sets, but is it already owned by another? Is it already licensed to somebody else, kind of thing?
Right.
So is
it? Are we really coming up with nothing between however many people are watching?
we got Labyrinth, Thundercats, Miami Vice.
Thundercats would be cool. Miami, I don't think they do Miami Vice. Thundercats, like, given the popularity of Voltron, like, I know it's not the same. But if they're not going to do,
what are you making with Thundercats?
I'm not a Thundercat. I've no idea. I'm talking about like what do I recognize as a name, as an IP.
Mm-hmm.
Thundercats is one I recognize. I just don't know. No clue.
Yeah. That's the problem is I just don't know. The Goonies is an interesting one.
They already did that in Dimensions.
Did they do Goonies in Dimensions? Son of a gun.
They did.
I'm telling you,
what's his face? They did a level pack. What's his face? I haven't seen the movie. The guy, he looks deformed face. What's his name?
Oh, Sloth. Yeah.
Sloth.
See, I was thinking like you could do like a One Eye Willie's ship. Right.
They did a micro one in Dimensions, so that should be satisfactory.
Yeah. See, it kills it. Like Dimensions is gonna kill this. An Alf bust. That would be nightmare fuel.
That
all over.
Alf actually, you do a little talk show set. I guess Alf. I think Lego potentially made a big mistake in not putting a stipulation in the rules. Like, does the Dimensions lineup count? And if it doesn't, that opened up the floodgates. But
see, I want my Golden Girls set. Your Chad is right. I want my Golden Girls set.
Maybe. Okay, I've been a Golden Girls non-believer. I don't think it would sell. I think whatever. But maybe that's they're in to say, all right, now we'll do Golden Girls. This will be the Golden Goose. We'll get it done. That's over with.
It'll sell like hotcakes. Winners selected.
There's only going to be everybody in Fort Myers. Everybody would buy it. They're 165 years old. Right? They'll all buy it up. It's great.
So is everybody that was born in 1980. So maximum of 5 entries will be a part of the actual fan voting, and entries that are selected to participate in the fan voting will receive, and this will touch somebody's heart here in our audience, the Tron Legacy Light Cycle set. So they're going to pull that one out of the retirement bin and say, here you go. They're also going to hand over a Seinfeld set and then the Back to the Future Time Machine set. So that's what the winners or the selected entries will get, on top of the winner getting 1% of the total net sales of the product, 10 complimentary copies of your Lego Ideas set, and credit and bio in the set materials. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Entries are open. So if you're a mock designer out there, get your mock on and make it happen. March 1st came in fast and heckin' furious. No, we did not get any Fast and Furious sets on March 1st, but we got a ton, and man, it was wrecking wallets across the globe. I went somewhat conservative and only got a few of the Star Wars sets released and Stitch. I don't know what you walked away with, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, but that right there, that was enough to enter my backlog and say, I don't even know when I'm going to have time to get to that. But that was just a taste of what came out on March 1st.
Yeah, I ended up picking up all of the Animal Crossing stuff. I did a full live stream of pretty much all of them this past Saturday, which I'll go into as we talk about Animal Crossing a little later. I saw a lot of people going right for Star Wars, specifically that hallway that had the Fives figure in it that sold out pretty quickly. A couple people for the Snow White, house, but I texted you and I said this looks really good in person when you see how vivid it is, and especially all of the figures. And you could have had a situation where they toned it back a little bit, made it a more grounded, I guess, but they went full-fledged with the color. Everything pops, and it's a beautiful set. Still not for me, but I just did Animal Crossing. That was an easy $200. When I got the flower shop, I ended up giving that away on a live show Saturday, and all that stuff.
I keep seeing people building or people I know that are building the Snow White set, and they're loving it. And it's one of those
You're
ones
a Disney
that
guy. I don't know how you don't have it. Yeah, I don't know how you don't have it. It's a Disney thing, and it's got it's got all the dwarves in it.
I'm hoping that one sticks around for a little bit of time, and I have time to kind of go see it in person and pull the trigger. It'll be hard for me not to pull the trigger on it eventually. It's just, when there was so much coming out on March 1st, it's hard. You have to make a decision. You have to make cuts, when unless you're just absolutely a baller out there, like you just have to. I'm not walking into. And I saw people do this, walking into the Lego store on March 1st, dropping $3,000, and walking out with almost everything. It was.
There isn't a need to do, like, everybody lives their life and has, different financial responsibilities. I couldn't see a reality on a new release day with different promotions like that being necessary. Wait for something that piques your interest that much more. I'm a big proponent of this. I talked about it a bunch on this show and elsewhere. Like, prioritize your spending. Just because something is like you like it doesn't mean you need to drop the money on it on day one. Let it ferment, because Lego comes out with too much stuff for you to just, I like that one figure, let me spend $50 on it. That's just not how it should go.
They come out with a lot of stuff, but they also do a lot of double insider point weekends and weeks and things like that. And they give you opportunities, gift with purchases. And sometimes it's good to hold some of that stuff back and say, I'm not going to drop the $200 and whatever on that set right now, because here in a month, there may be a GWP out there that I want that I can then use that on to buy, or, I can take advantage of double points and get it then as a larger set. So I went with, like I said, I felt like I went really conservative, kind of, just the few little, I've said this ad nauseum. I'm a huge micro build fan. So these MIDI ships that they're creating, I'm in love with. And I've got them. I plan on trying to build them live on Twitch, but I want to build them so quickly, so badly that I may not wait. Like, I just have to dive in and start put them together, because I want to build them. I want to see them displayed on the shelf, and waiting to build those is going to be difficult. But
sidebar. You know what I really want to do, and I saw somebody do this in my community recently. They obviously saved up money that they've hard earned, and then went to the Lego store with the new release day, and they dropped a nice stack of cash on Lego sets, but it was all Lego sets they really, really, really wanted. And I like the idea of saving up, your money, your time, your energy, and you drop a healthy amount, whatever is healthy for you, and you buy all the stuff that you want and is within your means in one go. Not just because it's a release day, but making a special occasion of it. We're going to drive out to the Lego store. We're going to make a whole day of it. And then you have this lineup of amazing stuff. Like, they bought an Avengers Tower, 2 of the Viking villages, and all sorts of other stuff. And I look at that and I'm like, man, if I waited for a release, there's not even that much stuff I want to accumulate to a big haul like that. Like I almost want to strive to that level of like saving my money, and spending within my means to do a big haul like that. Like it's just something cool.
It's fun.
Not just to get a gifted purchase. It is fun.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's different for everybody. What is a lot of money, of course, but like focusing on the stuff you love at the end of the year when there's double points, and you thought about it a lot, and I sound old. I sound like a parent. Like, no, you got to really make sure you want it. Yeah. So that's just me.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. Now, March 1st sets, they're going to be around for a little bit. Some of them are already, on back order, sold out kind of thing, especially in different areas across the globe. So just kind of keep checking if, maybe all of a sudden you were like, oh, I really did. I wish I would have had that, that Tantive 4 hallway set. Give it time. It'll be back. Don't worry, but don't go out there on eBay and start dropping twice the price to get it and stuff. Like, just give it time. These things will come back around. Now we do have some new stuff coming out in April. I'm trying to remember what month we're in currently. We do have some stuff coming out. Man. What's that?
It's flying by, man. It's flying by.
It's flying right by. But we do have some new stuff coming out in April. Nothing so far that is completely like, sent my Spidey tingles going, or Spidey tickle, or whatever they call it. But we do have some new stuff coming out here, and there's going to be, these sets, these construction figure sets. There's an audience for these things. There are people that buy them, and I'm very curious to see how some of them are designed versus others. The one that sticks out to me more than anything with this is the Green Goblin set, because his wrists look absolutely like crazy ginger, not gonna be stable. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but
these are the gifts that Mima buys her nephew for the birthday, and she doesn't know what to buy him. This is what this is. It's like, oh, that's a big Spider-Man. Yeah, that works. Like, these obviously have, like you said, their own audience construction. It's not been Bionicle, but it's been a lot of other stuff since Bionicle has been gone. So this is it, and tying it with the IP is obviously very smart. I will not be buying these. I don't have any of these, but yeah, it's worth discussing because it's new.
Yeah, they've been, we've seen a lot of iterations with these. Wolverine comes to mind, the Captain America, the Spider-Man that came out recently, and the Ant-Man that came out recently kind of caught my attention. I didn't end up getting them, but they were definitely they were kind of one of those things where I looked at and I said, if I need to hit a certain threshold with a gift with purchase or something like that, like, I could justify, like, they're kind of sitting in a wish list item, right? Like, they're there to grab an extra $30 item if I need to pad that cost. And I honestly think I will enjoy them as far as, an interesting style build, but then just a nice little display, just kind of set it up. But really, they're a toy. Like, they're an action figure toy for younger kids to get their hands on and enjoy the building process, but then also be able to, actually play with and put through, situations and things. And the Green Goblin's cool. It's the Spider-Man with the Iron Spider, outfit. I mean, they're cool looking, and I feel like you get a couple of them. They're, like you said, there's little Jimmy's birthday gift, there's little Jimmy's Christmas gift, whatever. Like, it's a nice, I mean, it's Easter's coming up. You want a nice Easter gift in the basket?
This goes in the Easter basket. Yes. Oh man, Peter Cottontail dropping one of these along with that dollar store Lindt chocolate knockoff.
There you go. That's a good Easter basket. I would have loved an Easter basket that included one of these with that giant hollow bunny.
Now that you bring it up, for Easter one year, my grandparents, whose house I was staying at, they got me the Orient Expedition hot air balloon as a Easter gift. and that's one of the more expensive ones from like, early 2000s at this point. But a Lego set, I was fortunate enough to get a Lego set or a video game or something, right off the heels of Christmas, really just like as a thing to put in the basket. So these are it, man. And Easter's coming up quick. It's actually early this year. It's in March. So get it for that reason. Maybe they'll have a little, bunny gift of purchase. I don't know.
There you go. We got some information about the brand new Lego house unveiled, the fifth Lego house exclusive, paying tribute to 3 different Lego building systems that what they consider makes Lego what it is today. Can you explain a little bit what the whole like Lego house exclusive thing is and how that all works?
So Lego House, to start, is a location you can visit in Denmark, which is near the Lego headquarters, and it's basically an homage to the company. It's a living museum where they will feature the entire history of the company, the different sets that have come out, the different intellectual property. You can see a master model gallery, which is where creators from all around the world can have their stuff featured in the Lego House for a year-long period, which is on an invite basis, not a submit basis. You can go and eat there, where they have robots prepare your food. You can see Lego bricks being made in the molding machine, and it's like a museum of science you take the family to, except it's Lego. So if you have a Lego fan and you are local to Denmark, that's kind of where you go. But it's also where AFOLs will travel all around the world and then make that as part of their trip. And then maybe there's Scareback, the Lego fan convention they go to, kind of tie it all together. They schmooze with the Lego employees, whatever. So that's kind of what it is. And then in the shop itself, they have a set that comes out exclusively. It seems to be every single year as a, hey, you're here at the Lego store, here, Lego house, here's your exclusive that you can get. And it generally revolves just around the Lego company or the Lego house itself. So in previous years, it was the wooden duck, but made out of Lego that they had as a thing. My favorite of the bunch has been the replica of the dinosaurs they have up by the Master Model Gallery. So kind of like this, where there's 3 different types of Lego brick paying homage to. There's a Duplo dinosaur, a regular standard brick dinosaur, and then a Technic one. The mini versions of that were a Lego set, and the building style of it was exemplary of that. Like, you built it out of larger chunks of, brighter colored Lego bricks and then Technic whatever. So this one is kind of meant in that same way too, where it's paying homage to the 3 different building systems. And I believe it was the first kit of each of those to be formally introduced. So you have this like display table with each of the 3 models paying homage to the different building styles. On the reverse side of it, there's mini models representing each of those different systems. There's like a little mini treehouse. There's the yellow castle, obviously from Lego. So it's really tying into the Lego brand. So if you are a Lego brand fan and you know the history and you care about the history and you're engulfed in the company, the AFOLs, the people that are watching this, yes, you are probably going to want something like this because it's paying homage to the brand that you love the most, right? But for the general people, maybe they want to pick it up as an exclusive item, but they don't have a necessary like a fondness for it. I don't care about this at all. I think it looks kind of ugly, to be honest. The fact that it takes up this much space, it's all gray in the front, which I understand why it's all gray and it's kind of flat. And it's like, I understand the intent of the model, but it just doesn't captivate me as somebody who's interested in it, especially when you compare it to the Pirate that came out last year. What a cool model. And then you have, and then the dinosaurs were super cool. And you had the molding machine, which is like how they actually make the brick and you can go through the process with it. That was super cool. This just feels a little, I don't know, lackluster in a way. So I have no connection to any of the sets that are featured in the front here, nor really in the back. And I just don't think this looks good on a shelf. So You'll want it because it's a Lego house exclusive,
right.
but it seems like that's about it for me.
It's a collector's item. It's gonna,
Yep.
somebody going to the Lego house. They're picking this thing up. They're keeping it in the box.
Yep.
They're not building this.
Yep, 100%.
Nobody's building this.
And they may have it. So the gentleman that designs it every year is Stuart Harris, who is featured in some of the marketing material. He's basically the Lego house liaison. So if you go there, like he's the guy that kind of, like he's the guy. So you could have him sign it, and like he's somebody I would want to meet eventually, but not like this just doesn't do it for me. And I don't attribute it to his lack of ability or anything. He's an excellent model designer, and he's done all the other ones as well. All the Lego House exclusives were designed by him. I just think the vision for this, whatever team decided this, it just doesn't do anything for me.
This was kind of a marketing team. I feel like they made such a big splash. To me, this is almost like, well, we don't have a buildable space fig yet, so we're gonna do this in the meantime until we can figure out how we can make that better or something. I don't know. I mean, the pirate was so good. The big fig is so good. I wish the pirate would be released for public consumption. I wish, meaning you don't have to go to the Lego house to buy it. I wish, they would continue that big fig line and do a space fig castle, would be cool too. Bring those figs in as well. But it's doing what it needs to do in a micro scale. Whoever decided, hey, we need a micro scale version of the town plan from 1955, the Duplo train sets from the 1980s, and the car chassis from 1977. Like, it's doing what it needs to do. It's just very lackluster when you compare it to the people that were just going after. Like, nobody. The thing is the pirate was so good you didn't keep that in the box because you wanted to build it. You wanted to buy two. You wanted to rock one and stock one, right? And
I felt the same way about pretty much all of these. They felt very desirable to have out on a shelf. And maybe it's the height of this, maybe it's the color palette, maybe the choice. I like you said, it's fulfilling its purpose. The models featured on there are obviously they are important to the company, but they are not if these were the Yellow Castle and the blah 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 for each of the the top three from these building systems, you'd have a totally different lineup. And I think that make for a way more attractive model. But that was, like you said, it's not the point of this.
Right. And give it time. Who knows what they'll come out with. People are still going to snag these up because, again, they're collector's items. You're going to the Lego house. You're an avid collector probably anyway. Like, if you're making the trip there, unless you are already local to the area, you're going there because you're a massive collector of Lego. And you're walking out with one of these, but you're not. I don't think you're building it. I think it's staying in a box, and it's not going anywhere. But please, for God's sake, give me the Spaceman.
If I had a friend going to Denmark, I wouldn't tell them to pick this up for me.
No, not at all. See, I would from a collectability standpoint. I would.
No, I don't care at all. No, one of my moderators, shout out to Eli, went to Denmark as part of a big family trip, and he picked up the dinosaurs for me. That's how badly I wanted the dinosaurs at that time. And building them was a lot of fun. It was super unique, even though I wasn't there and I couldn't see them myself. That was enough. I could tell that would be a set you get as a memory of the trip that you have going there. And that just isn't the case for me here. Even the molding machine, I think, is kind of lame. But if I saw it in person, I'm like, oh, yeah, I that's my memento from the trip. Sure. Okay, cool. And same thing with the duck. But again, we're beating a dead horse here. So would you get this if somebody were going to Denmark, you want one for the sake of keeping in the box, you building it?
I just want it for the collectability standpoint. This would be a set again. If I already had somebody that was going there, that I knew was going there, that was willing to shuttle this to me, absolutely pick this up for me. because
Fair. All right.
my ability to go to the Lego house is pretty minimal. Like, and so,
Sure. Right.
it's one of those elusive sets kind of thing that
Zach, let me cook. ZMB company trip to the Lego house. We got ZMB at the castle. We got ZMB in Orlando. We got ZMB. We're taking this thing global, my guy.
global, baby. We're gonna take it global.
And then right, and then we have we do giveaways on each of our channels. So through here, we get 5 of them to give away. Bring them back. Look at that. See, that's it. Done deal.
I love it. And I think what I love the most is he once again clarified and confirmed that we are doing ZMB live from the castle.
I said, that's
now,
the idea.
ladies
That's the
and gentlemen.
idea. Is my signal breaking up? I said that's the idea, Zach.
Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Animal Crossing has made its way onto store shelves and into homes here. Mr. Bricks O'Brien talked about his March 1st hauls, and they very much consisted of all of the Animal Crossing sets. I don't think Lego's stopping here. I don't think Lego gets this IP and only does this one line. I think we're going to get more and more and more as we continue on. But overall, Brian, you on live on Twitch, you built all of them, right? You got through all the sets?
I built all of them except one. It was a 6.5-hour live stream full of, obviously building it, shenanigans, and tomfoolery. So thank you to everybody who happened to be there and watch live. A lot of lurkers and the brick building community hanging out. So thank you. The last one I left was the smallest one, the $15 Julian's Party. I was just 6.5 hours. I'm like, I'm cooked. And I got to pack for what was this trip now. So I bought them. I bought all of them because I was close enough to that gifted purchase. Lego got me, and I knew I'd end up doing a giveaway. So I didn't intend on getting all of them, but I did. Lego is definitely not stopping here. And I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're going to release a couple more waves of this. And then a new Animal Crossing game is more than likely going to get announced for Switch 2, which is going to happen within the next 4 years. So a lot of the stuff you're seeing right now will be retired by the time the new game comes out, which means Lego will release more stuff. And they're just early to the jump on the next game. This is a Lego Animal Crossing line, not an Animal Crossing New Horizons line, which is from Nintendo Switch. So we are definitely not stopping here. Plenty of characters and stuff they can go over. With the theme itself, and my impression, real quick, is very cute, very well put together in terms of presentation, the accessories, the printed parts, whatever. Horrifically overpriced. Horrifically overpriced. Like $75 for a set with 500 pieces and 2 minifigures when you have hundreds of NPC characters to pull from is unacceptable. And some of the sets, specifically the $35 and the $20 one, seem comparable in value, even though there's a $15. There's like a 70% price difference between the two, whatever it is, and it's crazy. So the IP text is heavy on this one, and if you're a fan, yeah, you're gonna love them. But man, it's tough to swallow sometimes, man.
That's the problem. Is are these are, at least on the surface, appear to be play sets, kid sets, and you're talking about dropping some major coin for these.
There's not a lot of play. The only play feature here is in the $20 set. A function of the game is you take like a stick and you're like hopping over a river. There's one play feature where you do that. The rest of them are kind of dollhouse in a sense, where you're taking the characters and there's not a lot of play about it. So it's kind of like a glorified display set for like the hardcore or adult fans.
Is that who they made the set for?
I mean,
who is this set for? Who are these sets for then?
Well, it's for Animal Crossing fans, and Animal Crossing fans, as I've seen from the lockdown, it was early 20s, mid 20s. I got a little bit of disposable income and a lot of time on my hands, so I'm gonna dump hours into Animal Crossing, my cozy game, and whatever. But I think for kids, it's super tough because to get the set you want with Tom Nook and one of the other, you're dropping like $115 out the gate, and it's just really tough. It's really tough. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. They all did they all hit back order or just the big one?
I think the one that featured Tom Nook and Isabel, which are the two most expensive sets,
Yeah.
those did go in back order.
Yeah.
For anybody that's apprehensive about Animal Crossing, what I would recommend, even if you're not a fan, to understand the play system, the printed parts and whatever, the $40 set, which features Isabel and Fauna, it is one house. It has a little floating present up above it. And there's actually a gift of purchase that came out, which was Maple's Pumpkin Garden. It's a $5 poly bag, probably get it somewhere else eventually. If you get those two sets, I felt that really encapsulated Animal Crossing in of itself right there. So for $45, just about, you can get your Animal Crossing fix. And even the $20 set, Bunny's Campground, whatever it is, that is a great addition too. So for really $65, which is just about the price of the game with tax and all that,
Sure,
you get Lego Animal Crossing exemplified. Yes, you're missing key characters and stuff, but if you want to try it and get into it and see if you like the vibe of it, that's going to be your beginning to what I know for a fact, Zach, will be 4 to 5 lines of Lego Animal Crossing over the next 3 to 4 years. And it's absolutely going to happen.
now from a collectability standpoint, is this something where, you know, if you're just into the minifig market, are you just trying to grab them on Bricklink for a markup and not go through the whole set buying thing? I mean, can you, at this point, can we get all of the figures for less than, you know, buying all the sets? Probably, right?
I think yeah, definitely. Some of the buildings are cool to have. So the most expensive set has Tom Nook's shop, Nook Mart. That's a very important part of the game. You're going to want that. If they come out with a city hall, a museum, like there's like about a dozen iconic buildings throughout the entire series that you would want to get. But in terms of having like a village or house, there's infinite variations of that, including your own customizable house, which is what actually I would want, $100 customizable player house with the player villagers. Because sidebar, in Super Smash Bros, Villager, Animal Crossing Villager is a character. Red t-shirt with a number 1 on it. I want that minifigure. We still don't have it yet. So that's a whole other thing. So otherwise, if you just want villagers, you can get the sets and just get the figures. What would really knock it out of the park, get people a minifigure series. You could have literally, you could have 30 series worth of minifigures, and that wouldn't cover all of the characters. There's villager characters, which move into your town on a random basis. There are holiday villagers for events like Jack and I forget his name. Oh, for the turkey. Oh, this Pave for, you know, what, there's so many different ones you can get. So possibilities there are endless, and I hope that happens, but I don't think so.
Where's the collectability then? Is the collectability in the figures here, or is the collectability in the actual buildings themselves?
Yeah,
with the
it's
printed
both.
pieces and things.
Yeah, so they're doing a good job already of like what I look for printed stuff. Like there's a fossil piece that you dig up out of the ground. There's a cracked hole piece that, you know, looks like it's right from the game. And they're doing a good job of spreading those out. So I believe my prediction is that you're going to get enough of a fix from the larger sets that have the bigger buildings in them, and then get your favorite villager from Bricklink or wherever, you know, you're going to pay a premium, but whatever, and do it that way. That's what I would recommend. Some people are going to want all of them. They're going to want all the cutesy villagers. I'm not one of those people. I want the core characters and my favorites, and then that's it.
That's it. Interesting. Very interesting. I still will be passing. I'm not going down the Animal Crossing.
If you're not a fan, then there's really nothing here for you.
Even from a collectability standpoint, I just can't. I don't know if I could justify. No. I love minifigs, but I can't.
You really got to have a connection here. Like, it's not like, to me, Lego Video was the prelude to Animal Crossing in the way of like unique, really cool looking characters, but there's nothing to tie it to, which is in a way why it failed. But even when I got them early through Beyond the Brick and through Lego, I didn't feel bad about the characters because they just looked cool. They're just cool looking characters. But here, they're very specific art style, specific molds. So unless you have a really itch for Fabuland, which is not most people, then you're either into the game or you're not, and you'll just skip it. And then that's it.
Yeah. Something that's kind of been on my radar all year so far has been the amount of space that Lego seems to be providing us. 2024 really, truly is a year of space for Lego, and it doesn't seem like they're slowing down. We're getting our first Friends space set, and say what you will about the Friends sets and the mini dolls that come in the Friends sets themselves, the actual bricks in the Friends sets and the builds in the Friends sets are actually pretty cool and a lot of fun.
I agree.
The mini dolls are a little bit nightmare fuelish for my taste, but it's all still in system. It all still works with all the other, like it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish with this stuff. But now they're bringing the idea of, I hate to say it, but there's always been a thing where Lego has, especially when I was a kid, back in the 80s, Lego was a boy's toy, right? We're getting out of that, which is good, and Friends was one of those lines that was kind of being touted as a girl's toy, the girls' version of Lego. And now we're having a fantastic blending, I feel, here, where we get the boys' space Lego with the girls' Friends line, slam them together here so we can finally say, you know what? Both you can actually play and build with both and don't be ashamed of either way. These are amazing sets.
Let me clarify here. I have it on good authority with my sources that if you notice with this and all of it's actually in Lego City and in Technic with the newly released whatever you call it, the sun with the Earth, like
the orbiter thing, yeah.
So that has the space branding as well. That Lego is introducing a cross-theme, sub-theme for space. So this is a year of celebrating space. They're having that silver banner across all the products that are applicable, which I also believe is going to be for a forthcoming minifigure series, but we'll have to wait and see. And so that is where they're coming from with all this. So instead of having a sub-theme within each, they're kind of branching across the Lego-owned property and having space encompassing all of it, which is super cool. And for the longest time, Friends has had great colors and it's great, and I'm all for it too. So this is one of, I'm sure, many that are going to come out throughout the year to celebrate space. I really don't know why. If it's an anniversary for space Legos, I don't know, but it's cool.
I don't know either, and I do want to correct. It's not the first space Friends set,
sure. Okay.
But it's I love the idea of them blending these two worlds together. But they're doing so much with space. They've got they've launched, no pun intended, the new astronaut plushies that you can now get.
They're back in stock.
Yeah, blue, red, and pink are back in stock. Like they're just really, really pushing space this year, and I don't know why. Like, what all of a sudden lit a fire and said, "Hey, let's do this." It must
be an anniversary, or they're trying to, like, space has always been an interesting thing. Like a lot of private companies, try to go to space and whatever, and then NASA getting the funding it needs to. So maybe it's just like we want to inspire kids with space exploration again. Maybe they got to watch more Astro Canuck over on Twitch. Get inspired by the stars or something,
Which begs the question. Goes back to that Lego house set. Like, what? You're obviously you're pushing it. Where's the giant buildable space fig? What are we doing here,
dude? What a slam dunk! Even not to do that, but anything. Something we didn't mention on the show because other stuff has come up, but there was the Space Babies gift with purchase that was reflective of a set that came out all those years ago too. So that was like in the same theme as this space stuff. So
They just kind of snuck that
I don't know.
GWP out there too. Like there wasn't a lot of fanfare around. Like all of a sudden, it just kind of hit.
And it sold out immediately.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Hey, I'm all about it. I love I mean, that's what I grew up with. Was wanting more and more space. Space Police. I had a Space Police set. I had a Blacktron set, but like that was what I really gravitated towards, were the space sets and all the space guys. I wanted all my own bennies back in the 80s, with the broken, the little cracked helmet, jaw piece and everything. It was fun. And I just want to keep harping on, the fact that the fringe sets get knocked, and they got some cool stuff. They really have some neat stuff, neat pieces. And they're fun builds, and they've been, they've been knocking it out of the park with some of the stuff that they've been putting out. That house that they released, early, at the beginning of the year, had a very, Florida, Miami vibe to it. I mean, it's very, very cool. Very, very cool stuff. So bravo
Another
to Lego
thing
to continue to do this.
Real quick, the price to part ratio, like the value you get out of the Friends stuff, in a lot of ways is way better than City. I don't know where Lego City is getting their pricing, if it's the custom molds or whatever. But when I look at all the Friends stuff and I see this big giant mansion that is appropriately priced with not just the parts and the figures, but like the amount of stuff you get, like the look of it, the uniqueness of it, I'm like, this is actually like a objectively cool thing. There's a whole lineup of them, dude. If you got all the City stuff for a street lineup, all the creator stuff, they come out with like one building a year, 2 buildings a year to add to like a street, and you got the Friends stuff, you would have, even without the modulars, you have a whole lineup of stuff. So you have like color and value across the board, and it's a no-brainer to include it in your Lego City as part of your lineup and whatever else you got going on.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it up here, because Mr. Bricks O'Brien I'm not sure what's happening with him, but he's turned into slow mime mode, and it's been quite.
That's the effect.
It's the effect. It's the dramatic.
Yeah, no, right. That's it. Here, I'll reset one final time here for us. I know this was not an ideal situation here, but hey, we got it. We got it unlocked.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is. There he is. We can actually see his face. There he is.
Yeah, it's great.
But hey, this is the commitment to the show that Mr. Bricks O'Brien has, bringing that hot content every week, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time over here on the YouTubes with Z and B Live. And he's going to be traveling, I think, for a little bit. But when are you going to be back live on Twitch coming up?
I'm going to be live this Saturday. I'm hoping that the Mario announcement will happen, 9-10 Eastern. So 10 Eastern, I plan on going live, and then I'm going to be building the Jazz Club. If it is the Peaches Castle, I'll be having a mental breakdown live on the internet so you can watch in real time. And then a Sunday, I'm doing a Mario Day live stream for Starlight Children's Foundation. I have a little bit of a schedule after that, and then I'm actually off to Ireland the week after next for Mr. Brick and Nick's wedding. So it'll be a little bit of a time there, but I think we're going to record some stuff for you within that time period, and we'll be good to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be looking forward to that. I'm taking a little bit of a backseat with Lego, so I've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You got a date with Sephiroth over there.
Right. So we're gonna be taking a small little break with Lego, but still posting some content out there on Instagram and TikTok and things regarding Lego. But we'll get back into it eventually with more. I'm gonna dive right into more Technic with the Technic 4 GT after I finish the Ferrari. Had a really good experience with the Technic Ferrari Daytona. So I'm gonna get my Ford versus Ferrari thing going on with that.
There you go.
Can't wait to do that. And we'll be back. We will be back next Wednesday, though, live for you guys, 10 a.m. Eastern time over on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe over there on YouTube. Really helps out the channel. Comment if you can. And if you're listening to us or want to listen to us on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, make sure you check us out. ZMB Live Unfiltered, all of the places. Bricks O'Brien, Zach M. Rutledge on all the social channels. You can find us there. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's been awesome. It's been fun. Brian, thank you so much for showing off your garage.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Till then, till next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.